I'm an Enneagram 3, meaning that efficiency is really important to me. And as someone who also wants to save money on food as my main source of savings in day-to-day life for travel, I like to live cheap to travel often, right? And that's why I have this whole channel sharing those things with you. And being efficient and getting dinner done efficiently at home, homemade meals with cheap ingredients, cooked quickly so that I don't throw in the towel and just go out to dinner. That is really important. That's like one of my main priorities in life is getting dinner done quickly, feeding my family frugally, quickly. Fast, duh. I was like, what's a synonym for quickly that starts with an F? Fast. Fast family, no, what should I call it? Fast, frugal family dinners, there we go. Feeding your family fast and frugally. Actually, that's pretty good. So feeding my family fast and frugally is one of my priorities in life. And there's a few different ways that I do that. The number one way I get dinner on the table quickly is by using the right tools to help me save time in the kitchen. So my three favorite tools for saving time are my food processor, my veggie chopper, and my rice cooker. So one of my favorite quick and easy meals that falls under the category of mini meal prep, which I'll tell you more about in a second, is any sort of stir-fry Asian type dinner. So I will pre-chop chicken breast, or I will freeze some ground beef in a really thin, you may have seen this before, people will put ground beef portions into a freezer bag and use a rolling pin to roll it really thin, and then it thaws really quickly, you throw it in the pan and it cooks really quickly, and then you just throw a sauce over it. So I can pre-prep the sauce, I can pre-prep the chicken, I can put the ground beef in, and then I use roasted veggies to round out the meal, and then rice in the rice cooker. So that meal comes together super fast when you do it that way, when you have your meat semi-half prepped, when you have your sauce prepped, when you use a frozen veggie and just throw it in the oven to roast it, and then you throw some rice in the rice cooker. That's one of my go-to meals. So we'll do sesame chicken, we'll do, I call it Hawaiian ground beef, we'll do Korean beef, we'll do sweet and sour chicken. I actually do teriyaki salmon, which is really good. That's 5 right there. Salmon was separate from what I previously said, but you follow. If you follow me on Instagram, I share these meals and I link to the recipes I use very frequently. So follow me over there for some more details on that. And then a little bit more about the mini prep thing I just mentioned. The mini prep method is when I'm coining this way of getting dinner done really quickly, and I'm actually gonna have a product available soon-ish about it. I can put some details in the caption. I'm not gonna spend any time make you listen to a sales pitch right now, but making things that way is a really easy way to get dinner done quickly, is having things half prepped before dinner time even comes. But my rice cooker really helps with that one. My food processor can help me make sauces for dinner really quickly and easily. I will make a really delicious chipotle sauce. It is Greek yogurt or sour cream, cilantro, chipotle peppers, and a little bit of the adobo sauce, and then lime juice. I throw it all into the food processor, whip it up real quick, and that can take a really simple meal and elevate it and make it really delicious. So my food processor is excellent for making cheap food really good, really quickly. And I also save money by making a homemade sauce versus a store-bought one. So I can make salad dressings that way too, throw them into the food processor, whip it up really quickly. And then my food chopper obviously saves me money, or saves me time, and money, saves me time by chopping the veggies up really quickly, and then saves me money because I'm not giving in and buying those pre-chopped things at the grocery store, which are great, but they cost money. You're paying for someone to do that for you, right? Obviously. But I also take it to another level by chopping, and again, this falls under the this falls under the mini meal prep method. I chop veggies and freeze them ahead of time. So I'll do onions, I'll do bell peppers, things like that, throw them into the freezer, and then they're ready to go when I'm ready to cook dinner. So those are the tools that help me save time and money in the kitchen. So I do prioritize making homemade things. However, sometimes some store-bought pre-made things really do save you. They help you so much. And there are some things that I'm willing to. I think they're worth the cost. I think they save enough time and they aren't too expensive that I'm willing to pay a little bit more to get them. So for really late nights where I'm at the office a little later, or like Fridays when I'm just really tired and don't want to make dinner. A bagged salad is a go-to. Like we'll just throw some sort of main course together really quickly and easily, maybe something in the crock pot, and then have a bagged salad on the side. And then, as I previously mentioned, frozen veggies. I have a whole frozen veggie cookbook that I offer it as a bonus if you purchase the simple dinner solution. But it's just the like extra things I throw on top of roasted veggies to make them extra delicious. But if you season a package of roasted veggies with salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, throw some oil on it, throw it in the oven, and just leave it till it's done, till it's to the toastiness that you desire. It's a really delicious side dish that is so easy. And yes, frozen vegetables cost a little bit more than fresh produce. Like if I go buy the same amount of frozen broccoli versus a head of fresh broccoli, it is going to cost more. However, I keep it in my freezer so it doesn't spoil, where when you buy fresh produce, you run the risk of it spoiling before you get to it, right? Which then you just spent money on nothing. So that saves me the little bit extra money to not have my food spoil is worth it. And then it is already prepped. It's in the little florets instead of the big head of broccoli, so I save time there also. And this one, I feel like probably everyone does, but minced garlic. Why is garlic so annoying to chop? Like, it's like this big, right? And so you're like trying to chop it and then it sticks to your fingers. Why does that happen? And it's just a pain. So that one is totally worth it for me just because it's a headache and we love garlic and it's in like every meal. So something like that I'm using so frequently, it's totally worth it to have that shortcut, or else I'm just gonna leave the garlic out. Like I'm not chopping it, you know? In this short, quick, to the point video, I'm gonna mention things I already mentioned. So the number one way I cook dinner quickly, I get dinner on the table quickly, I feed my family fast and frugally is by the cooking methods that I use. So by method, I mean the mini prep method that I was just mentioning. And I'll have a whole video down the road when I'm ready to launch this new product about it, giving you details about it. I'm basically going to tell you how to do it for free, and just if you want the pre-made meal plan and the recipe book of mini prep method recipes, you'll have to buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you how to do it on your own. But yeah, cooking methods are the number one way that I save time in the kitchen. So the method of prepping things a little bit ahead of time. So chopping the chicken, pre-making a sauce. My favorite way to pre-make sauces is by using a jar like this Bertolli. Yep, Bertolli. When did I spring for actual Bertolli? I think I was trying to find a pre-made Alfredo sauce that actually tasted good and I didn't like it anyway. But I always keep jars, I keep the lids too, and I'll pour, like my soy sauce, my garlic, my sriracha, my brown sugar, shake it up, put it in the fridge, grab it when it's time to make dinner, shake it up again, pour it over it. It's ready to go. And these are, I was gonna say free. Not really, you know what I mean? Like you're buying something and you get the jar. Keep the jar. And then, so I mentioned chopping the chicken and having that like ready to go where you can just throw it in the skillet, cook it up real quick, pour the sauce over it. However, I recently discovered possibly the fastest way to cook chicken ever. So you take that pre-chopped chicken, you do have to thaw it, but you put it on, I don't have them handy. I'm looking at my drying dishes because behind the camera is all of my washed dishes that are drying because we're in my kitchen and I live here. This is my real house. So things are haphazardly thrown around and I'm haphazardly filming in the kitchen. But I have like a cookie, like drying rack, not drying, cooling rack, gracious. A cookie cooling rack that's metal and oven safe. So it can also be used as like a roasting rack. So I will put that on a cookie sheet with some tin foil under it for also easy cleanup, and put seasoned cubed chicken on there, and at 425 degrees it cooks in like 10 minutes. It's so fast. And then if you want, you can pour your pre-made sauce into a little pot on the stove, bring it to a boil, add cornstarch slurry, so cornstarch mixed with water, thicken that up, and then when the chicken is done, just toss it in that sauce and dinner's done in like 12 minutes. So when I discovered that, I was like, ooh, this might be the fastest chicken dinner ever. Like the epitome of winner chicken dinner. And one random bonus tip that just seems to make dinner faster and easier, actually two, I can't believe I forgot about this one. So first is using a trash bowl. So this came from Rachel Ray, which probably didn't originate with her actually, but Girlfriend literally sells bowls she calls trash bowls. Don't buy something. Like don't buy a trash bowl, but take a tiny mixing bowl. Like if you have a set of like nesting mixing bowls or even like a soup bowl or something, put it to the side when you're like chopping veggies or anything and toss the scraps into that bowl. If you want to be super fancy, you can go make some veggie stock and stuff. Honestly, I haven't ever gotten that far into it. My method of life is all about like balance, right? Like balancing being a realistic working mom, but also trying to save money. Like making veggie stock does not follow that. Like this is a little step too far, but more power to you if you do that. But anyhow, just having that little trash bowl and putting the veggie scraps in there to keep your cutting board clear or whatever you're doing, just having that to the side makes things seem so much easier. I don't know if it actually saves time, but maybe. You're not having to like constantly clean off the board and go over to the trash, just throwing it in that bowl. Seconds matter when it comes to getting dinner on the table, right? Like if you've got hangry kiddos, seconds matter. Which then also brings me to, I wish I could find it. My daughter pulled it out of the drawer and was playing with it and I cannot find it. But on Amazon several years ago, I bought a steel woven glove. I will put a link in the description, but it's a glove. It's a fabric glove and it has steel threads woven into it, so it's cut proof. You can be chopping something and you go whoop across your hand and nothing happens. So that allows you to chop things really quickly and not be like nervous about your hands, right? Like on TV, you know, they'll have their hands like this. No, I can't do that. And chances are you probably can't either. Like most normal people can't. I don't know if I do that if I'm chopping raw meat. I mean, they're washable, you can wash them, but you know, I don't know if I do that. But chopping onion up, chopping veggies, like, oh, I hit my hand. No worries. So you can go super fast and not have to worry about slicing your hand. All right, so ending that with some super random tips. But those two things, like they're simple, but they really can make a difference and really cheap. So I hope you found these tips helpful, these little cooking hacks that help me get dinner done so quickly. So we use the right tools to help us save time. We utilize the right store-bought ingredients that still save a little bit of money. Because, you know, if you're gonna use those store-bought things to eat dinner at home versus going out to eat, you're still saving money, even if they cost a little bit more. And then using the right methods to get dinner on the table quickly. Finding ways to prepare some things to help you get dinner done quickly, finding the right recipes that can be cooked really quickly, finding the right cooking methods, like throwing chicken in a 425-degree oven for just 10 minutes. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe to my channel for all my time and money saving cooking hacks, but also ways to save money in day-to-day life and ways to save your time and sanity and money when it comes to traveling with family. That's another one of my topics as well. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.